Welcome back, and thank you for joining Byte-sized DJ as we discuss advocating and allyship from faculty for neurodivergent learners in computing education. In my CS 202 class, there is a lot to cover in such a short amount of time. We plan to only have 2 exams during the whole semester, which has me incredibly nervous. I am a neurodivergent learner, and I love computer science. But often, there's too many concepts covered in a single assessment, and it's incredibly overwhelming. I want to discuss it with my professor, but I'm not sure he'd understand. Neurodiversity describes the idea that people experience and interact with the world in different ways. Neurodivergence includes ADHD, dyslexia, dysgraphia, autism, and more. It's crucial to understand that there is no single one right way to think, learn, and behave. Research, including studies by Dr. Nancy Doyle, an organizational psychologist, suggests that 15 to 20% of the world population is neurodivergent. Therefore, it's essential to advocate for complete support for neurodivergent learners when facilitating a supportive, inclusive learning environment. So, how exactly does one advocate and be an active ally for neurodivergent learners in their computing classrooms? Well, let's consider a few strategies. Offer flexibility in your style of teaching. As I said before, there is no one right way to learn, and your teaching should aim to reflect this fact. Try providing a variety of resources that cater to different learning styles, such as a combination of text, audio, and visuals. For example, there are excellent sources online that teach coding in interactive ways, such as Blockly. Also consider having frequent, smaller assessments as opposed to a few large assessments, so that each assignment counts for less and the stakes are not as high. Create sensory-friendly spaces in the classroom if you have the control of your space to do so. This includes potential for lighting adjustments, flexible seating options like beanbags and standing desks, noise reduction measures, and sensory tools like fidget spinners or stress balls. These items can help students regulate their sensory experiences. Allow your students to take breaks and designate a sensory break area where a student can go for comfort and relaxation when feeling overwhelmed. If you don't have the ability to change the space that you teach in, reach out to your school's Student Disability Access Office for recommendations on what you can do in lieu of a sensory-friendly space. Follow individual accommodations. Every person is different, and even with the first 2 strategies, there might still be the need for additional personalized accommodations. Work with students and the institution's Disability Service Office to ensure additional assistance that could be useful for the individual. This could include testing accommodations, assistive technology, and more. And remember that when working to advocate for neurodivergent learners, words do matter. For example, some people prefer person-first language, like person with autism, while others prefer autistic person. Therefore, it's important to ask your students what their preferred language is and be intentional about respecting it. It's also important to note that it's not always apparent whether someone is neurodivergent, and students may or may not choose to disclose. It can also be the case that students may not have a diagnosis. This can be a barrier to getting institutional accommodations because universities often require a formal diagnosis. Getting one can be time-intensive and expensive. Students from low-income backgrounds are disproportionately affected by these policies. In these cases, it's important to pay attention, be accommodating, be understanding, and implement these strategies proactively. Accommodating neurodivergent learners is not a one-size-fits-all endeavor. Each student is unique, and the accommodation should be tailored to their specific needs and strengths. Open, clear communication, patience, flexibility, and a willingness to adjust when necessary are key to helping neurodivergent students succeed in their educational journeys.